if somebody is on a call, it's a sales call, the lead is potentially warm. What are the common mistakes that you're seeing?
They don't set the agenda on the call early. So they let the client lead the call or the prospect lead the call, which is a big error. Okay. This person's asked to speak to you because you're able to give them something that they want. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be on the call. So you need to remember when you're starting a sales call that you are the expert, not the prospect. They're the expert in their current situation, but you're the guide. You're the person that's going to help get them what they want, hopefully, if they're a good fit. So I always start off with a small bit of rapport and then I'll hop in straight away and just say, okay, so normally how these calls go, AKA, I'm running the call and I'm going to steer you hopefully towards success. I'm going to guide you to the right decision. In order to do that, I have to run an effective call and I have to ask specific questions to establish things about your current situation first and foremost. So I like to split the calls into two after I've done this part. So a bit of an intro. The discovery part, which is just heavily question based and probing. And then after that, the pitch, if they are a good fit. And, 80% of people are, but one thing I've learned as well is like, don't be afraid of like unselling people. I'm a big fan of unselling people. Just like, if they're not a good fit, you should not work with them. Just don't, it will, that's probably a whole other podcast, right? But yeah, that's the first mistake that I see. I think the next one is potentially prescribing a solution far too early before you've actually done the fact find. So that's why I say this is split into two parts. I would never prescribe whatever product or service I was selling without actually finding out a bit more about the client. Okay. So when we're doing this discovery phase, the first part, the first major part of the call, I usually try to look at it, split that into three. Okay. Current situation, where they're at now, what are they doing? What have they tried? What's worked? What hasn't? Why? Then we look at desired situation. So what do they actually want? How quickly do they want to get it? Again, why do they want it? And then the blockers. So what's stopping you from doing this? What's getting in the way? Is it a mindset issue? Is it a logistical issue? Is it a time issue? And finding out as much as you can. And then with each of the answers to any of those three sets of questions, probing it. And again, just asking, well, how's that been? And literally just putting people on the feet a little bit and on the toes, sorry, and just saying, like, okay, well, what happens if this takes place? Or if that continues for ages, what's the impact down the line, do you think? Is this going to be favorable for you? Obviously, you want the answer to be no. And then, yeah, after that, you've run through what I would call, we've talked about prescribing. So I'll keep with the doctor theme. You're almost diagnosing the problem, questioning and diagnosing before you prescribe the medication or the solution that they need. So not asking enough questions or just being really generic and probably like just reading off a sheet like a robot or whatever it is. Actually taking the time to have a conversation with that person, having set the agenda. Then you can ascertain whether they are a good fit and if they actually need a prescription or
Yeah.
you kick them out of the doctor's office.